budget workshop, I should say.
Yes.
Sure, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, let's rise and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, Governor Hochul actually requested that we put flags at half-staff today in light of what's occurring in the Middle East and Israel. So I'd like to just take a moment of silence to send our thoughts and prayers for the people of the Middle East. All right, thank you. All right, Vicki, would you like to start with the roll, please?
Here.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Here.
Councilman Hoyt.
Here.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Here.
Supervisor Witt.
Here. Okay, we have the review and approval of minutes of our September 11th meeting. Did anyone see anything they wanted to?
I have one thing. Someone, and it was a fine comment, why does it seem we make people jump through hoops to volunteer for committees? You know, one of the reasons, and I speak for myself on the board, that I'm here and wanted to do this is to build community. And I think volunteering, the efforts being made by the people who are helping out all over this great community of ours, it makes it a better place when we communicate and we work together. And the whole idea, and I've been here, I can't call myself a native of Grafton, but I've been here 45 years now. So I feel like someone who actually has spent some time in this community. And I feel it's really valuable. I've raised my children here. You all, when you have children, you've raised them here. It's a beautiful place to live. The seasons are, if you don't like snow, or you don't like cold, or some of the summer bugs, then this is not necessarily the place. But it is a great community to raise our children. It's a safe place for us, and it's a safe place for us to grow together into old age, if that's where you're going next. That was how I feel about committees. I don't want to make people jump through hoops. I think it's great to serve and volunteer and help us out. And thank you for listening to that for a minute. I just am responding to something in the minutes.
Very well said.
Okay, thank you, very well said, yeah, thank you. And of course, we appreciate all our volunteers. All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 11th board meeting. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, reports and remittances from department heads and town committees. The supervisor reports were provided in paper form, and I believe they've been uploaded, so good with that.
I've got a question on that real quick.
Okay.
Under the highway department, under revenues, non-property tax disbursement by county, it says 25,000 that's supposed to go to highways, but we are already over on our line, and it didn't. Just go over there. So our budget was for 285,000. We're already at 314,000, and Jared still hasn't gotten his 25,000 that is set there for sales tax. I did bring it to his attention. Also, the budget showed that he did receive that budget money, but that just hasn't been a typo in the budget.
Okay.
So it's because he hasn't received that money yet. Right, you haven't received the sales tax money yet.
But I'm aware of
No.
Right. So it's just, we were getting another payment, so here's the 314, we're only budgeted for 205, so we're almost $30,000 over on that, but we owe Jared 25,000 that he needs to get paid on. We're gonna receive another payment in December, so I just wanna make sure in December he gets that 25,000
Credited back.
to him,
Right.
you know, so that way he gets it for what he's supposed to get it for.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make a note of that.
Good call.
Okay. All right, thank you for bringing that to my attention. The town clerk's report.
All right. Town clerk fees brought in $249.49. Planning board brought in $150. Trash recycle brought in $2,948.62. Building permits brought in $800 last month. We got $117.55 for bottle returns for the youth program. Total revenue was $5,012.17 after paying NCON, Department of Health, and Ag Markets. The check that went to the supervisor was $4,265.62.
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the town clerk's report. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bowdre.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman DeShane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
Supervisor Nigel.
Yes. All right, highway superintendent.
Got a couple of plow trucks ready. It's always a fun word to talk about. The turbine we bought has absolutely, we are smoking through roads now this time of year. We are not wasting any time with leaves, sticks, pine cones. That is by far one of the best purchases we've made in saving time. We used it, the county wasn't able to pave the other day. I said, hold on a minute, because the road was covered in leaves and they weren't able to spray tack coat. Hold on, Nate, 10 minutes, and we went down there and they had a line of trucks, so that was well worth it for them too. The county's been good to us, really good this year. They paved a few intersections for us. You know, each little bit of asphalt we get down is good. Got the chip sealing done. The paving down there on Fox Hollow come out real nice. That was a half mile. I mean, every bit of it's moving forward. The guys are still finishing up grading some roads, trying to get that, you know, get everything in good shape before the season. And then we're about to move on, starting to trim brush on a road that we're tentatively going to pave next year. That's dirt currently. And we'll get the ditching and there's only one culvert that needs to be changed. We already changed the others. But a couple miscellaneous projects, but then it's just on to getting everything ready for winter because it's on its way, unfortunately. So we're in pretty good shape.
All right, let it go. Thank you. All right. Okay, thank you, Jared. I don't have an assessor's report. Does anyone? Okay, there was not one turned in. All right, buildings and code enforcement.
We got 49 permits out year to date. Housing is still very strong. Seems to be going into the winter very strong. Reminder, the winter coming on, make sure your chimneys, your stoves are all in good working order. Check your CO detectors and smoke detectors. That's about it.
Clean your chimneys. Okay. All right, thanks,
I
Tom.
will be taking my 3-day course next 2 weeks for my required classes.
Okay. All right, thank you. The rescue squad, I know Captain Sullivan's here. Hi, Tom.
For the month of September, there were 14 calls dispatched. During the month of September, we resumed our monthly trainings. It's a combined training with Grafton, Petersburg, and Berlin. So that happens every month, though.
Thank you. All right, dog control officer?
One call for the state park. It was more involved with state troopers than it was me. Couple loose dogs. We've had Roxy, who's been running around, and currently she is at the welcome center at the state park, but they cannot catch her. Poor thing. That's about it.
She was a dog lost by hikers, right? Wasn't that?
Huh?
Was she
No.
the-
She's the lady lives right over here on Route 2, next to Dolan.
Okay.
in the apartment section.
Sure, sure.
And she got the dog on Saturday, it was a brand new dog for her, and she opened the door Sunday to let the dog out, and the dog just bolted on before she could get a hold of her. And she's been running, and this is like almost 2 weeks now.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, people have been just keep posting and saying, Vicky, she's here, Vicky, she's there. It's been great, Facebook's been great. And I kind of went silent for a while, and I thought, well, that was the end. And then all of a sudden, hikers in the state park had found her at Shaker Pond, and now the Welcome Center seems to be where she wants to hang. So hopefully we'll be able to catch her. They have set live traps.
Okay, good, okay, all right, good, thank you. All right, youth program director, Rapid Community Library.
So some of the statistics will be from the budget meeting, but so statistics for September, 786 hardcover books, 284 ebooks, Hoopla participants, which is another ebook group, 40 participants, patron visits, 264 adults, 39 children, 6 teens. The expedition's final numbers, because it's totally closed now, were 40,099 participants use stops in libraries. And 918 got their gold card, so 918 people visited all 36 libraries in the Upper Hudson system. It was an expedition party, and 2 of us attended that, and there was over 600 people that participated in that. They had it at the Bryan House in Latham, which was upcoming programs. We have the Eclipse program, which is this Saturday, 12:30 to 2:30. Sounds like it's going to be rain, so we might not need the glasses. We have a little special glasses for everybody, but we're going to be hooking up to the NASA satellite and use it on the big screen TV, so they'll still be able to see it. We're going to do cider and donuts, and we're doing a craft, a solar eclipse craft. And then 11/14, we're continuing with the craft series, and we're going to be doing deco mesh wreaths. And of course, other programs, the story time and Legos and all that's still going on. Zumba.
Thank you. Okay, the state park? Okay. The recreation committee?
Yes, we had our meeting last night. I sent you a formal email request for use of the town green on Sunday, December 3rd for our December event that we have planned. I'm officially requesting, please, a disbursement of petty cash to get us through the remainder of 2023 with our planned events. Currently, our trunk and treat is on track. It's been very well received. We have over 24 committed trunks. 14 of those are business, 10 are residents. We have 12 entries in our pie contest. And that's what I have for now. So I'd like to officially request a disbursement of cash, please.
What's their event? She said she sent you a thing.
For the tree lighting. Yep, I'll do that under correspondence received. Okay.
So if someone wants to do it, how would they contact for the trunk or treat?
How would they contact? They contact me or any member of the recreation committee.
Okay, I'd like to
And
do.
let them know.
I'd like to do a
contacted
trunk.
Heather, and she said she quit.
She did, I have her letter of resignation.
Oh, okay.
I announced that last month at the meeting.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was the end of
That-
I know
it was
one quit, so
kinda
that's
heated.
two. That's
Yeah.
two already.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
great.
so could you put me down for a trunk?
Sure.
Thank you. And so online, it said contacted your Facebook, I know you wanted to do that, so I wanted to catch you to that before I forgot. Thank you.
Okay, so now we have 11 personal vehicles.
11, good, okay. And can you put my daughter-in-law down for a pie, apple pie?
Apple.
Okay.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough competition.
Okay. Yeah, Danielle Wager,
Got it.
apple pie. Okay. Okay, all right, thank you. Senior citizen representative, Merrymakers.
Our next meeting is Wednesday, October 18th. It normally would have been tonight, but we postponed it a week to be here for the budget workshop. Dinner will be 5:30, meeting at 6:15. I talked to John Darling about attending just as for a question and answer, you know, as a lawyer and type thing like that. Our Christmas party is December 2nd. I'm meeting with Carissa next week. I forget the date, if it's Tuesday or Thursday, to get the menu and prices and all of that. And at our meeting, we'll be discussing next year's bus trips and guest speaker suggestions. As probably just about everybody knows, we have a bus trip coming up Saturday, which is the 14th, and it's our full foliage train ride, Cooperstown, Charlottesville Railroad out of Milford, New York. Talking with Yankee Trails last week, you know, they gave us the do's and don'ts, and one of them is they requested they said you can have alcoholic beverages, but you have to pay a non-refundable deposit of $100. And I told them, no, please don't put that in the contract. We don't want it's not the town's responsibility to do that, and the merrymakers don't have $100 to put into that. The bus will be leaving the Grafton Senior Center promptly at 8 o'clock. And our last bus trip to Racket Lake was a huge success, and everybody really enjoyed it. The October trip, people going. And our Christmas party will be at Giuseppe's Restaurant. And we do want to thank the town for your support of the Grafton Merrymakers. We've been, 40 plus years. I hate to say it's been that long. For a senior group, 55 years and older, and there's a number you hear in this room that could join. And as we all know, the prices of buses have increased tremendously, and that's why we went up a couple $100 in our request, our budget request. Seniors with trip suggestions can attend meetings, call us. We have a Facebook page, even if you don't think you want to be a member of the club, but you want to join the Facebook page, please do. And then, just have a good time and stuff. And we're going to try in the spring to have a barbecue with the Everett Wager senior group. Just as I have to say it slow so I say it right. But, just as a meeting of the minds and things like that. And some of the people in that group do go on our bus trips. I did see some of those people. So, the more the merrier type thing.
And we also want to talk to Pierce, because most of the people in the Merrymakers, because it's 55 and older, still work. So they have other things that they do, and maybe they're not doing jigsaw puzzles, maybe they're kayaking. So we thought I talked to Lisa, and we thought we'd get together and meet with you and see if we couldn't maybe between the Everwager Senior Center and the Merrymakers do something at Dyken Pond later. So we're not working, and some people maybe could kayak, some people maybe could sit and put a little puzzle together. So it would take care of the people that are 80 and the people that are 55.
I have a cabin that would be available for you, and kayaks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. Ladies, just a question. Is your group, half a year? You don't operate over the winter, right? Is that correct? So you'll resume again in the spring, right? Your
April through
meetings?
November, we have meetings, Christmas party in December.
Okay, so you resume again in April?
Yes.
Okay, thank
And
you.
it's mostly because the people they have winter homes
Sure.
in the
Yeah.
south.
Yeah.
So it just isn't fair to try to make decisions when people are in South Carolina enjoying the sun in, January,
Absolutely.
unless we all can go with them.
Right.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
They don't invite us, right?
Okay, thank you, ladies, thank you. All right, under communications received, we have from Heather Hasbrook, a resignation from the Recreation Committee. Dear Supervisor Gunner, please use this letter as resignation from my position as Recreation Committee member effective immediately. I'm resigning. Please know that this decision did not come easy and that my time and focus needs to be on my family. I wish the committee the best of luck in future events and will be there as a member of the community to support them. Thank you, Heather Hasbrook. So I acknowledged Heather's resignation and thanked her for her service. We also have an email from Ann Kiley, the town historian, on behalf of the Historical Society to remind everyone that the Spirits of the Fall Wine and Cheese Festival is the 22nd annual fundraiser for the Historical Society. It's Saturday, October 21st from 4 to 6 at the Everett Wager Senior Center. It will be wine, cheese, and hors d'oeuvres. There's door prizes and a raffle, and the donation is $25 per person. And for reservations, you can contact Ann Kiley, 279-3051. 279-3051. So that's always a super fun event. Yes, no, it's not sold out yet, so we need to drum up support for that. And then we also have, let me just go over here. We have a request from the Recreation Committee for use of the town park. And why am I not finding this? Use of the town park on December 4th, yes, Donna?
Sunday, December 3rd.
Sunday, December the 3rd.
Correct.
There you are, okay, perfect. Request for town green usage. Madam Supervisor, the Recreation Committee is respectfully requesting the use of the town green / gazebo for our holiday event on Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. We request permission to place an artificial Christmas tree with lights, use of electricity, to remain in place until after Christmas. We are in the early stages of event planning and additional information will be forthcoming. Regards, Donna Baldwin, Recreation Committee Chairwoman. So we have that. And then we have, okay, this came in at the end of September. This was not directed to the town, and it was CC'd to you, but not directed to the board. This was directed to the Committee on Open Government, Department of State, One Commerce Plaza, Washington Avenue, Albany, New York, CC, Grafton Town Clerk. Dear sirs, in response to my denial of the FOIA request by the Grafton Town Board, I have a rebuttal. I was told by the town supervisor and a board member that Mr. Lewandowski was merely asked if he had given me all the emails that he had for the requested time period. Understanding that he was non-compliant in the request, I feel that simply asking about his response to the FOIL request was not sufficient. According to FOIL, all records are available unless an exception permits a denial of access. Records that are off limits include any records specifically exempted by state or federal statute, something that constitutes an unwarranted invasion of privacy, items compiled for law enforcement, or things that may endanger life or safety of any person. Items which are specifically allowed included inter- or intro-agency materials, which are instructions to staff which may affect the public, and final agency policies and determinations. Since Mr. Lewandowski contacts contractors through email, I believe that those emails should be allowed. Also, internal emails between him and the other board members and between him and the town supervisor should be included. While claiming to be transparent and accountable, I do not find Mr. Lewandowski's response compliant. The council signing the denial without actually seeing what is actually in his email account makes them all seem complicit and is not compliant.
I have a question.
And this is not,
My copy, no, that was mine.
Said,
You didn't have one.
I was told by the town supervisor and a board member that Mr. Lewandowski was merely asked if he was given all the emails. When was I asked? In the executive session? So does that mean the supervisor was talking about an executive session?
she was absolutely not talking about an executive session, so I don't know.
Right, because I don't understand why it says
And
that.
my copy's not signed, is this, I'm assuming this is follow-up with you?
So I don't understand where it says that all that was asked. I know that there was a very in-depth thing that went on with the lawyer and the town board and everything to make that decision. So unfortunately, that does not seem factual.
Inasmuch as this is directed to the Committee on Open Government and it's an appeal, council suggests.
We're gonna wait till they rule on their appeal
Wait till they rule on it, okay, all right.
on that one.
On this one, okay, right. on
Do
this
you
one.
need that?
No, I don't. No,
Not that I need it.
Okay.
What about the other one?
Where is it? Yeah, you have to read the whole thing.
I have it somewhere.
I don't know why I don't have this.
You didn't read the whole thing.
Where's the last? I know, because it says.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is an additional letter of September 29th. Dear sirs, I'm filing an appeal on my FOIL request of the Grafton Town Supervisor. I requested copies of all emails received by the supervisor from Mr. Lewandowski, responses to him, and emails where he was mentioned or CC'd. Also emails to and from the other council members and the town lawyer. The supervisor handed 145 pages of emails to the town lawyer, and he approved 6 of them to be shared. According to FOIL, all records are available unless an exception permits a denial of access. Records that are off limits include any records specifically exempted by state or federal statute, something that constitutes an unwarranted invasion of privacy, items compiled for law enforcement, or things that may endanger life or safety of any person. Items which are specifically allowed include inter or intra-agency materials, which are instructions to staff which may affect the public, and final agency policies and determinations, with exceptions being allowed for items specifically exempted by state or federal statutes, things that would constitute invasion of privacy, items compiled for law enforcement or that may endanger life or safety. Town officials should be aware when they do business by email that their correspondence may be subject to disclosure. The people's right to know the process of governmental decision-making and to review the documents and statistics leading to determinations is basic to our society. Access to such information should not be thwarted by shrouding it with the cloak of secrecy or confidentiality. Any conflicts among laws governing public access to records shall be construed in favor of the widest possible availability of public records. I feel that such a broad determination of denial of the supervisor's emails is disingenuous, and I appeal the decision on that basis. Ann Calabro, 312 Josh Hall Pond Road, Petersburg, New York.
That was to the Committee of Open Government.
Yes, that was directed to the Committee on Open Government. So what was the?
There was another one just recently that's an appeal to you as a board.
That came through today, I forwarded it to all of you today.
Okay. Okay. Forwarded via email, so there's another one to read tonight. Grafton Town Clerk, 6, okay, I see you, there you go. Appeal, okay. Word. I don't think it's gonna let me open it up on here, but let's see, there we go. It starts with O, I didn't realize I had to do both. That's how it starts.
Yes, that's the one, and then there was another, no, yes, that's the one, yeah.
That's the one, okay. This opens with, oh, I didn't realize that I needed to do both. Please let this serve as an official appeal of the FOIL reply. You may include the latter to the Office of Government Accountability. Thank you, Ann. The 2 letters I received were addressed to the Committee on Open Government. I was CC'd but did not receive an official appeal. This was an email chain. Okay, is that it? Is that the?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anyone else have correspondence received?
Keith Bell?
No?
We only have 10 days to actually get home.
All right, no other communication received?
No.
All right. All right, under new business?
Phil said she was going to be in a session. We didn't only have 10 days to do that.
Right.
Well, that's not,
Yeah. So we'll be adjourning into executive session?
I would do it at the very end of the meeting to take care of all the business.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, new business? Okay, old business, Highway Department fleet maintenance, we've got a resolution below. That's resolution 65 of 2023. Do we want to talk about this before we go to the resolution?
Well, I think you want to do your public comment first in case anybody wants to speak about it. And then do all the resolutions, because you have that one, you have preliminary budget resolutions, you know, making the tentative budget the modified preliminary, and then scheduling the public hearing, And then finally, you pay the bills, and then you would go into your executive session.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go to public comment. Reminder, public comment is limited to 5 minutes per person. Be mindful that public comment is a privilege. All comments and statements shall be directed to the town board. Please refrain from any personal attacks, name calling, or derogatory public comments toward individuals. Councilman Boney is our timekeeper. We're strictly staying to 5 minutes this evening, so
No
cheers by that.
no nothing, everybody's just doing their thing.
Yes, yes.
Hi,
Mr. Loveday.
I'm Rob Loveday. I live on Blue Factory Hill Road. I have a question in light of efficiencies and continuity of requests by taxpayers in the town, and also with an eye toward making something grow. So let me take an example. It could be anything. Any request that somebody gives the board in any form, could be through an email or talking to somebody on the board at Stewart's or what have you, right? Any type of communication. Whereas a group or a person in the town asks for some information or asks for something to be built, right? Information could be, you know, it could be recycling, something to be built. Oh, we want a tennis court, or oh, we don't have a senior center, let's build that, right? So in some of these, it has to be committee-wide, and other things don't have to be. They can just be probably solved by one person on the board, like information about such and such. You know, where do I go to get this information on recycling, say? Is there a method where a task like that is given to the town board is disseminated to council members? Is it possible that if somebody has a strength in an area because they have a professional background in it, or they have a personal interest in it, is there a way to give that task via the supervisor to that person? How are requests disseminated to be worked out? Does that make sense? No. So I have a request. I want this thing. I want some information on NCON, and I ask somebody. If I'm trying to get more recycling, if I want this thing to grow in my town, who takes that ball and runs with it? Do you, supervisor, do you give that to somebody who has had previous profession in it or has a driving interest in it? How is it disseminated so it is
Worked on.
it is worked out?
Right.
And how can we make it an efficient process and one that isn't dropped off in 6 months and forgotten about, where somebody has a log and says, yeah, we've got a little recycling, now we're going to get a little more, and in 5 years we're going to have full-fledged recycling. I'm just using that as an example. How is that process taken by the board? Does that make any sense?
Yes, yeah, I think
Okay.
it makes sense, right?
Yeah, we have committees that are appointed in
The
January.
committees are appointed by the supervisor at the organizational meeting in January. So
Okay.
that's the supervisor's privilege, but it's always common to reach out to the board members and say, what's your preference? Where would you like to serve? So we do have a recycling committee.
Yeah, I know. I'm just using that as an
Yeah, right,
example.
but
I
I
don't-
mean, so that's what I would, if you directed it to me, I would
Okay.
say, geez, it's a question about aging. Ask Jody.
And-
Jody's got her finger on the pulse of.
And so that's because that person has either a personal interest or a professional background in it, so that you're parsing it to the person with the most ability to solve that problem or get it the information or have that thing built. Is that correct?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm
I'm just
building,
quality.
but
I'm just
I
trying
can't take
to.
a hammer and frame a house, so.
I'm not
We're talking in a different fashion, but that is.
I'm talking theoretical, philosophical, but I just wanted to get a sense of how things are done so they can be most efficient and so that they can not drop off the wagon in 6 months.
It's basically supervisor, the delegation to the liaison or committee member. Yeah.
Okay,
right?
Yes.
Thank
yes,
you.
Supervisor is liaison to the committee member, yeah.
thanks.
All right, thank you, thoughtful commentary. All right, next. Quick, 'cause I'm gonna go with that.
All right.
Go with Captain Sullivan.
I have a question. I believe a few months ago or something, we were talking about emergency shelters. It may have been toward the end of the last season. And I'm just wondering if we can get a recap of what emergency shelters are in the town as we're approaching, it's been mentioned already a few times in the meeting, we're approaching that season again. So I'm wondering if we can get a recap of what emergency shelters there are. I think at one point somebody had said something about the senior center, but it is my understanding there is no emergency power at the senior center. And to be an emergency center, you have to have emergency power. So that would disqualify the senior center.
You do have emergency power here. Chief Goyer, I believe, has a whole plan on everything with the VFW and all that. He would be the guy to reach out to that knows the ins and outs. I know I've talked to him and he said we have everything set right up.
Can we confirm or deny if the senior center is one of the places? And if it is it in the plans and in the books to get emergency power to there?
It's not, if you need emergency power, it's not in the book because we don't have it. Down the road, anybody's guess as to what's going to happen with the senior center itself.
Right.
A few years down the road, you know. Ideally, yeah, we'd love to have, you know, backup generator and stuff down there for emergencies. So right now, it's not in the books.
So at this time, to our knowledge, it's just the town hall and the VFW.
To the best of our knowledge, yes.
Summer cooling station.
The firehouse might be also a backup
Their generator.
generator.
All right, yes, John Munn.
This morning, does the town have an emergency action plan? And this came to thought because maybe a month ago, we had a power outage, and I was wondering, we have a lot of elderly people in town. I don't know how many people might be on oxygen or any other devices. So it came to my mind anyway, what do people do who rely on power when we don't have it? And so I was wondering, do we have an emergency action plan? Does anything effective on that? And what happens? That's it.
Yeah, short answer is no, not a formalized plan, so.
That's what the fire department does.
The Chief Boyers made the comment that they had one in place, but that was it. We don't know where I said yes, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, excellent thought, because winter's coming, as we've been.
Most times Chief Boyer knows everybody in town that needs emergency services. And when there's a power failure, and we all go around between Jared, myself, people who needed Jimmy, knows people on oxygen. The school is always available. This is always available. Like during Irene, this was a command center here for that, so.
Do you have emergency
I
generator?
have a small emergency generator, which you'll have a big one shortly. So it runs the heat and lights in school.
Yeah, that's not a formalized plan, by any stretch,
Thank you, Tom.
but that's what we do so far. All right, who else from the floor? So, Mr. Bouchard.
So on a totally unrelated note that I forgot to mention earlier, because I was thinking about trucks and whatnot. We got the signs up, we got the Purple Heart signs
Yes,
up
thank you.
on both ends of town. We got the sign on the Petersburg end, east end of town. That's been all rebuilt and painted and put back up, so just totally unrelated, but wanted to mention it anyways.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, Mrs. Goyer, Kathy Murphy Goyer.
I have a couple of things, and I'll throw the questions out there, you guys answer them. I'm wondering what's going on about finding a youth director. I want to thank Frank for spending the last 2 days here at the town hall, going through all the records, digging up all the information that was missing off the tentative budget to make sure that the figures were correct, you know, like what was missing out of the Department of the Aging and things like that. Is the bottom money on the budget, the tentative budget, anywhere or any budget, you know, that the youth collects or is collected for the youth? And as far as the raises, it always seems to be like, it's always a lump sum. You know, it's always $1,000, or it's always a $500 or something. Why can't we just give, instead of like picking, okay, we're gonna give the judge a raise, and we're gonna give this clerk a raise, why isn't everybody given a raise at a low percent, like the workforce out there, like RPI is getting a 1% raise? Why isn't the workforce here giving a raise like that each year, every other year, instead of that? Why is it always got to be $1,000 or $500 or something like this? So people can keep up with the times, because Social Security is getting a 3.2 or 3.7% raise, and then $15 of it's going to Medicare. But instead of these, all of a sudden we're going to, you know, take a lump sum, give it to the judges. We're talking about $3,000, I think, going to the judges and the clerk or whatever, or something like that. I can support a general raise at a low percent for everybody, as opposed to these high 5% raises for this one group, but no raise for somebody who hasn't had a raise in 20 years. And I have another question is, the budget was very late getting to the town clerk. Can you tell us why it was a week late getting to her?
Yes, there were some things that I wanted to review. There were a few department heads that were stragglers in getting their department head or requests in. Just things that I wanted to review to make sure they were good. So it took a little extra bit of time.
Okay, but you know, as far as like, that's town municipal law, that, so if you're letting them slack on their end, it certainly looks very bad for you. So it's, you know, that's town law. It's due the 20th, due the 30th to you and stuff, and everything's due the 20th to you. And it, you know, it just filters down the line, and unfortunately it looks very bad for you. So I would think that you need to crack the whip a little bit better or something, so it's not taken out on you. But that's my questions. But is the bottom money on the budget anywhere? And what's being done to find a youth director?
We're back to starting over again, searching.
A new year.
Searching for a person going from now into the next year.
But you're saying searching, but how are we searching? Be specific.
Well, we were putting an ad in the paper. We're trying to verbalize the system. We're going to have to start again and come up with a plan.
Now, the beginning of when the primary was going on, I don't know if it's conservative, Republican, whatever. I don't remember if it was Nancy or you saying that you had some different ideas on how the youth program should be run, or could be run. Could you elaborate on what your different ideas were? And that, you know, if that was put out there, that might entice more people. Because anybody that's been involved in the town, in the youth, knows how it's been run, and they're thinking, well, that's what I should be doing. But if you said you had different ideas, what are they? Express them, let them be known. That might click a light bulb off for somebody. So what were those ideas that you people were thinking about on running the program differently?
What I was thinking about was to have age group specific programming and having one person overseeing the entire youth program, but having different individuals address the needs of our little kids. Noelle Boyer was incredible with the little kids, but it was really difficult for her to do some programming that the big kids would want. And she tried a lot of things, and there was really no interest or participation. So my thought with the older kids was maybe some field trips, maybe start a ski club, maybe start a hiking club around here where we get familiar with all the trails here, and then maybe branch that out into maybe burgeoning some young 46ers that maybe we'd go do an Adirondack Peak as a field trip. You know, I had several ideas. Movie nights, you know, actually going to the movies. One thought I had was it would be really cool to have twice a year the kids get on the train and go to New York City with volunteer chaperones, and we take them to a Broadway show. Programming, enhanced programming for the youth that isn't just central. Oh, it is it? Okay. But thanks for asking, Kathy. Okay, who else from the floor tonight?
I was gonna,
Yep.
Is
There's
that
Rebecca
way?
Snyder Green.
wow. In the budget, she asked about the bottle money, but I was also thinking, didn't we need the senior center roof repaired or replaced? Was that anything put in the budget for that?
No, we got that fixed. We haven't decided to move forward on replacing it. The person that fixed it and then said they recommend a roof replacement. They said after the fact, they didn't mean anytime soon. They just say in the next few years, we're gonna
Okay.
wanna figure out that.
And then,
But with all the rain, no leaks.
okay, good. Right, good deal.
He said if he thought it had to be done now, he wouldn't have done all the work.
Okay.
And the bottom money is not in the budget. We just don't know how much the bottom money would be coming in, or even if we're gonna continue that or not. We currently don't have a youth program.
But it's not even listed anywhere, the revenue that we do have.
Right, that's not in the budget.
You account for it, but that's just,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
have,
in the budget.
I can print up a report for it, but it should be that line, the line that I put up under it should be, show up under the youth.
Right. Anything else tonight from the board? Nancy Palish, Larock.
I just want to thank the whole board for the budget, not just one person, because it doesn't take one person to do it all. So I appreciate all the time that anybody on the board put into this.
Thank
And
you.
the supervisor.
Thank you.
Second of all, just what's going on with the heat in the town hall? Has that been resolved?
Yes,
Is it,
propane burners in, yep, it's, yeah.
and
it
it's
sounds-
working
much
fine and
quieter,
it's ready for
warmer.
the winter? Thank you.
How's your cleaning?
Okay,
Yeah, how about the cleaning?
that's,
It just finished yesterday.
The furnace just got fixed, completed yesterday.
so.
Okay.
we will get
So they didn't
somebody
do the
in.
cleaning at the same time then, is what you're saying, is that
No,
correct?
no, no.
They did
Professional
the cleaning and the, okay.
No,
No,
the cleaning of the town hall is a separate issue. The soot blowback is everywhere. That's why the old quilt's gone, and so
Right.
we need to have a professional outfit come in and
Response
really,
Okay.
really,
or something.
I get you.
yeah, like first response or
They
something.
just put the part in yesterday,
Yeah.
so
Awesome.
we have not had a chance to call.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, it
Is
is.
there a third of all, or are we good?
And, yeah, I just want to thank Jared. I know a couple of my friends live on J. Hakes Road, and they said that road has been the best in 25 years. And I went to visit a friend of mine up at Dyke and Pond, and that road was really good. Compared to what it was, it's excellent.
That's actually only the beginning.
Right.
Just stages. That road is gonna look dynamite in spring.
It was pretty darn good already
Yeah.
compared to what it was in the spring. That's it.
Fourth, no, fourth of all, okay. Jared, how's it looking for you in November? Pretty good?
No, she was like,
I'm sorry. No, thank you, Jared, for everything. Looking forward to the next four, for sure, no doubt. Okay, who's next? Ann Clobber, is anyone before Ann? No, sorry to, okay, all right, Ann Calabro.
I had a comment that went along with Kathy's. I don't understand why the judges are getting, what's it, 12% or 15% raise. If everyone else is getting 3%, they should only get 500. It works out to 480, but 500 to make it even. And why cut the recreation committee when they're just getting started? If you leave the money at 4,600 and have them give receipts for what they have, whatever's left over stays in the account. It doesn't have to be cut for anything. It's already there. That was for whatever. For people not attending the fall foliage tour, there is a workshop being held this Saturday at Roxbury Holdings from 9 to 12. There's a Braver Angels presentation put on by Peter Pearson. It will help you discern your inner polarization, how you feel about things. Teach you how to be critical without demonizing large swaths of the population. You can learn how to have conversation with people who hold other political views and try to find common ground. The event is free, although donations may be made at the door. As far as my FOIL requests go, I am grateful for the ones that I did receive, since Mr. Buckley has not had his request filled, which he requested years ago. I have appealed both the requests, which you read tonight. Since Mr. Lewandowski conducts business through email, such as RFPs, as stated by the town clerk, I find it problematic that he decided that none of his emails were foilable. I don't know if he talked to Phil about it. That I don't know. Supervisor Gundrum printed up 145 emails and presented them to Mr. Danaher for redaction, and I was given 6 emails, one that probably should have had redaction of a name in an email. My question is presented to Mr. Danaher as to why none of these remaining emails were deemed to be shared, when according to the supervisor, they did not contain items concerning current investigations, did not present danger to anyone's life or property, did not constitute an invasion of privacy, and none were specifically exempt from disclosure by state or federal statutes. Yes, they are interagency emails. The intent of this exemption is to exclude advice and opinions or recommendations which may be rejected or accepted by the head of an agency. Factual or statistical information, as well as policies and determinations which the agency relies upon in carrying out its duties, are available unless a different exemption applies. In the case of conflict over which items can be shared, the widest possible availability of records should be allowed.
You say so.
I got it.
You appealed to them.
I know, but it's.
So I can't answer that.
Well,
They're gonna have to rule on the appeal.
I'm putting
I
it
think
to
you're
you.
misconstruing the law. If you read it
I've read
directly.
it many times.
All right. Well, we'll see. You took an appeal.
No.
They're going to rule on your appeal. We'll see what they say.
Okay,
All right.
Is that it?
that's it.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Going on, all right. Okay. All right, yes, under motions and resolutions, we have resolution number 65 of 2000. What?
Did you do all business?
Yep.
Oh,
You
sorry.
do old
We've
everything.
been here so long, we forgot it's done. Sorry about that.
Resolution 65.
Yeah, resolution 65 of 2023, Office of General Services mini bids for purchase of 3 trucks for the highway department.
We're considering 3 trucks.
We have resolution 65 of 2023, resolved that the town board hereby approves the OGS mini bids for purchase of 3 vehicles for the highway department and authorizes the town supervisor to execute purchase contracts per the attached bids and proposals. The lowest responsible bidders are as follows: a Ford F-350 regular cab 4x4 with a Western plow, Metro Ford bid $60,916.50. The Ford F-350 crew cab 4x4 with 8-foot box and Western plow, Metro Ford bid $64,863.65. And a Ford F600 regular cab 4x4 with galleon dump body and Western plow, Metro Ford bid of $65,557.02 for the chassis, and $32,220 for the galleon dump body. I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 65 of 2023. Seconded by Councilwoman Shane.
Councilman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Okay. All right, the next is a motion, Phil, or resolution?
You're gonna make a motion because after, if it's approved, it becomes the resolution.
Okay.
So it's, oh, you got it. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I move to accept the tentative budget as modified as the preliminary budget and direct the town clerk to post same as required. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Beaudry.
Councilman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
Supervisor Duncan.
Yes.
Then you have a motion to schedule a public hearing on the preliminary budget for 6 PM on November 9th, 2023.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to schedule the public hearing on the preliminary budget for November 9th, 2023
At 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
It's a Thursday.
That's a Thursday.
And do we need to add in there that I will advertise that?
Yeah, you have to.
Right, I understand that.
That's in there.
Okay.
By them doing it, you gotta publish it and
Right.
everything else.
Normally-
You guys want her to publish it,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Okay.
Hereby
There you
direct
go.
the town clerk to publish notice of.
Normally you have them include that in.
All right.
Oh, okay. Councilman Bowdre.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
So we say to the law.
Yeah, we,
But usually when I'm advertising, you just put that in, I just wanted to check.
direct to do it.
I'm winging it.
Moving, that's no good.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills as audited. We have vouchers number 389 through 427 for a total of $114,000, $114,715.19. It's $114,715.19. I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilman Lewandowski.
Councilman Bowdre.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Yes.
Supervisor Lund.
Yes. Okay, the upcoming meetings, we have the public hearing on the budget on November 9th at 6 PM. And then the regular town board meeting will be November 13th at 7 PM. Okay, legislative privilege? Okay, when we return from executive session, we're just going to be adjourning the memory of Norm Vandervoort from Clifton Road. And, so I'd like to make a motion to,
Ingrid,
oh,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you going to make a motion for the rec committee
Yes,
to use the town
yes,
release?
she's exactly right, yes.
Thank you.
For the,
Let's push that off to next week.
for the rec committee to use the gazebo for
I
a tree lighting?
didn't hear anything about it until in the
Tonight.
middle of the meeting. Doesn't give us any time to even talk about it.
Think about having a Christmas tree in the
What do you
front.
have to think about? Oh my God.
What, the proper procedure is anything that's supposed to go in front of the board, we would do that. We gotta.
Sir, I sent an email request and I have also verbally presented it this evening.
But the supervisor never put it on the agenda at all. We received a
We
blank
just got
agenda
the
this
request,
month.
we got the request last night after they had their rec meeting. I just wouldn't think it would be anything to be drama or,
Well, they're talking about having a petty cash fund.
But it just states that there's such a
I'll
lack
buy
of
the tree.
communication here. That's all.
Yeah.
I
we
just got the
don't
email
have-
last night. It
Right,
just-
I'm just
No,
saying, we
but I
we
mean,
don't
it's
have
personally
any,
saying you or just everybody.
Right.
It's just a lack of communication.
You guys don't even open your
It makes it
emails.
hard.
we don't have any information on the event.
First it was
They
a
need
trunk or treat,
Petty
and they
cash
were
fund, but
pissing them off.
we don't know
Now
what it's being
it's
spent for.
just a freaking
We don't know if
tree.
someone has a
And
tree,
they
do they not have a tree? Like,
Yeah.
it's in December, so I thought November we'd have time to talk and figure out what's going on, so that way we all
And then
know.
they act like that.
No, it's been brought up prior that it was going to be, there was going to be an event in December.
Okay.
A tree light, it's been brought up at previous town board meetings that there was going to be a tree lighting and that we were including the Berlin School District Choir, trying to do Christmas carols.
I never
So,
heard that.
Yeah, that wasn't.
you were at the meeting, you
Yeah,
were
it was
at
a meeting.
all the meetings. But it has been brought
Play
up.
them back. I'll play the meetings back.
I don't recall.
I don't remember any of that.
So that's
They have
unfortunate.
talked about it.
They have,
They have
I
to.
don't remember when the school coming,
Yes.
the recreation committee.
I know there's a whole month between meetings to give us information.
No, but they want to have an event in the park, so it's like,
No, I just didn't want to.
everybody has
Because it's
a
been
No, I'm not.
But it has that meeting you talked about with the elected.
That's what makes the numbers.
What's that, Erica?
I don't get my.
No, not at all.
It's just a request, it's just a request to move the holiday.
This is not an asking about the money, they're asking to reserve the gazebo.
That's what everybody's trying to ask. That's what they did to the trunk and treat.
You'll still have plenty of time to do it after the next meeting.
Right.
Can I have
Plenty of
something
time.
to say? If you guys want to get the community involved, you shouldn't be driving off volunteers.
Alienating volunteers, I agree.
You certainly are.
Stop. I would like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. Again, when we come back, we're just adjourning in loving memory of going back. All right, all in favor?
Who's seconded? I did.
But I hear a lot.